Okay, all right. That looks too loud, so we'll get that dialed in. We'll bring the music down a little bit. And I think we should be all right. Look dramatically more red on the rebroadcast. Hopefully it's just that cruddy TV. Do I seem very red to you guys? Doesn't seem that way on this screen at all. But this could be pretty washed out. All right, I'll trust you guys. I won't worry about it too much. I've got two awful monitors doing the job here. So this has got to get, improved upon, but we've got a camera that's snappy. We've got a special network just for being down here in the basement, and the camera that we've got for moving around and looking at stuff close up now has a direct connection, direct Wi-Fi to something a few feet away, meant just for it, no other devices. So it's going to be fine. I have the VR Museum launched. It is now available in VR chat, which you can get as a desktop application and run on your computer and not actually use VR and go explore. Or if you have VR, like a Index or a Quest or any of that, you can get VR chat. It's a free program, and search for Ration Museum, and it's live. It's it's an exhibit with the ads from the Saturday Evening Post that we scanned and we've looked through a couple times. So there's 62 of those on display. I built a space that seemed like it would be more than big enough, and then when I was putting them all in, realized that it wasn't going to hold everything and decided to hold off on the cigarette collection. Plus, launching with the cigarette collection might be a bit risky, so I figured I'd launch with all the other ads. And it's a walkthrough gallery, and there's some music pretty much just like you're hearing in the stream, and you can get right up close to all the different advertisements. The lighting I'm still working on, but that's one of the nice things, is I can keep uploading it over and over and over as I make changes. So it'll keep improving, and I have it built so that in the one corner there's like a doorway that's got a concrete barrier in it, and when I build the next room and scan more items in, then that'll open up and there'll be more, and hopefully more and more and more, and we'll just build this thing out. So if anyone does 3D modeling or anything like that and wants to help, I can give them access to the files. That, could always use another hand optimizing, cleaning up, working on lighting, anything like that. Otherwise, I'll just keep plugging away one little bit at a time. I brought the scanning stuff home. I hoped to have that set up for this stream, but I failed. Come here, kitty. Failed to get that set up. We get to see downstairs cat, Shabby, is now I'm underground in her zone. So this is Shabby. What looks like a Windows 95 screensaver. I'm gonna have to catch up on chat. Sorry guys. Let's see. We've got MFO's Rock or Something, Mike Kreischer Reviews, Smitty, Quint. Good to have all you guys. Sorry for the delay in the hellos. I'm sure I've missed my fair share of stuff. Yeah, you guys were telling me I was muted. Yeah, I very last minute had to scrub everything and go copy this down from the upstairs computer and make a few changes to make it work. Hey, did somebody just follow? That's great. Howdy over there. Over on Twitch, it looks like. Sachin Atwal, welcome. Welcome to the stream. You'll see chat from, let's see, do I have chat working on this? Or did I never get chat running on this? Okay, so you're gonna see not much going on over there, but the stream's also going on YouTube, and that's where everybody's talking. So I'll do my best to relay, and I'm gonna see if I have that chat plugin ready to go. Doesn't look like it. I must not have had it on this particular setup. But that shouldn't be too hard to fix. Let's see, so let's get chat going on both. I can just do a browser source. Call that chat. Let's go with 300 wide. No, let's go with 400 wide and 300 tall. All right, we'll adjust that. Bear with me, guys, just a second. Oh, you don't have to hop on over. Well, I mean, you can. It's youtube.com/Ration Museum. So then you'd find the live link right there. But I'll get chat running between. There we go. Now let me just adjust this a bit more. Let's go with 600 wide and 200 tall. Now we'll shift this lower text. All right, I may not have copied the right museum template to start over with, but this seems fine. Oh, no. This is the one that still had the mistake down in this lower text. It says Tritter. There we go. Okay. One little thing at a time. Okay, so now we've got chat going vice versa. That'll show up down here. All right, so I've got a new studio set up. It's down in the basement so that it can be undisturbed, and I can do 3D scanning basically back to back and leave things set up in between. The last minute rushed getting things working before this stream. Hopefully this is the last one of those, since from this point out it should be the case that everything is just ready to go from the previous week. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be doing restoration, potentially streams, but definitely going to start doing restoration videos from down here, and I'm going to be doing, like I said, a bunch of 3D scanning, so potentially doing like time-lapse videos of that, so that there's, more, so that there's more of an entertaining version of that side of things. Because I know when I do it on the live stream, it can be really tedious when a single 3D scan takes like 5-6 minutes, and you guys are patient, and I appreciate it. But I'm sure you'd enjoy that kind of content more if it was squeezed down from, 2 or 3 hours of sitting there with a camera very slowly building out these models to, 30-40 seconds per model. Condense that, make a video out of that. So that's a hope there, is get some videos up on the channel, and this will be a good base to do that. And the other side of having a whole different computer set up down here is it can be dedicated to something like that, and you know, we'll be able to make more progress and spend less time fixing, you know, fixing things that, or setting up and tearing down, basically. All right, so I want to see if I can at least show you guys the progress with the museum project. Wait, am I already connected to? No, okay. I scared myself for a second. Thought I was already connected to my other computer. So I've got one machine that's doing the VR stuff, and then an old machine I just put together from parts from previous home setups that's now going to run this stream and the scanning and that kind of stuff. And then just a regular computer upstairs that I used to use for the stream. And there's little bits of everything on each of those different places that I need to kind of get working together. So let's see. Oh, and yeah, this is still, I'm doing the hand test. I've got it so that it focuses really fast and it's in perfect sync, so I'm really happy with that. We'll see if it stays that way through the whole stream. I ran it before and it ran for 4 hours and 20 minutes without stopping. So I think we're good. And now that I've jinxed it fully, we'll see. I'm just waiting for the program to start up so that I can swap over to it. So this week, as far as, while we're waiting for that, this week as far as food goes, I've got a couple options. So I brought home one of the kosher rations and one of the prison rations, and then I've still got more of the Norwegian stuff. I was thinking prison ration. It's been a little while. Plus, I can eat it cold. Sachin's asking, do I have a 3D printer? So, no, I do not. I've used a couple services where you send them the models and they, print them out and mail them to you. Unless I had like something I was really, actually no, I kind of want to keep doing that because I have enough crazy hobbies and that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I could see how it could come in handy, with the museum or just in general to have one printing up parts for, heck, I can think of 100 little things. MFO is saying, never really had a personal Twitter account, but has to start one. Have to start one someday. Yeah, so I'm not doing so hot on the Ration Museum Twitter because I'm just not finding stuff to engage with, and I don't have enough of a following to start randomly talking about my own stuff. So I think the idea is in the beginning you want to go find people that are having conversations about things that that your hopeful viewers or followers would find interesting, and then you engage in that conversation in a non-self-advertising manner, but just engage in it and do more and more of that, and people will eventually check your channel out or your account out and follow you. And once you've got a good amount of that kind of stuff, you can start following people and expect some follows back. But if you're looking for like thousands of people on Twitter, you're generally not going to get that by I'll follow you if you follow me. I'll follow you. I mean, you look at people with 20,000 followers and they've got like 200 people that they're following. So anyway, that's my thought process there. Personal Twitter, I just kind of talk whatever every once in a while. Nerd stuff, mostly space and VR and AI. Okay, so I've got this running now, so I'm going to try and swap. So let's see, we've got... Let me try and make this part of the screen a little bigger. So we can actually see it. Okay. So the lighting's a bit odd, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But overall, this is, let's see, let me select something out of view. So this is pretty much what you see when you go into VR is, you know, this room that, well, you start out in the lobby. And I don't want to admit how much time went into putting these buildings outside so that when you're in the lobby and you look around, you know, it seems a little bit more realistic. But out here, it's just, you know, just a street of buildings. Let's see, there we go. That I had to figure out how to generate buildings slightly different from each other so that you could populate a street and have some background, and then not use a billion megs of data so that the world is still small. So this is all like low quality texture, just generated buildings that the system that makes them is really neat. But it took a lot more than I thought it would to figure it all out. And these stoplights actually worked, but for whatever reason, I haven't messed with that. I just wanted there to be something basically realistic when you look out the window. So you start here in the lobby. There's a big sign on the wall that explains what the current exhibit is, wartime ads. And over here we've got just the mission statement and some contact details floating around on this wall. There's some Dunkins that you're supposed to be able to pick them up, but I'm having a hard time with that script. But the idea will be that, you know, you can just reach down, pick them up, you know, hold them, look at them, etc. Oh, and hey, Kaylynn, by the way, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. So then you can come on into the main exhibit room where, you know, we've got all these ads lining the walls. And, you know, this isn't the rendered version. This is just in the design engine we're looking at here. But when it's rendered, it's pretty nice to stand inside, you know, walk around and take a look. You can get right up close, you know, and read all the ads. I do need to mess with lighting a bit more. It's not quite right. I mean, it doesn't look like we're looking at here, but it's not too far off from that. But yeah, so if you grab the application VR Chat, it's free. You can make an account. Then when you're in there, you can search the worlds for Ration Museum. You'll need to do something called Enabling Community Labs. And speaking of the Twitter, if you go to the Ration Museum Twitter and bookmark it, I'll post instructions there soon because I'm going to put a post up about having launched this. And I'll post instructions along with that for anybody who's looking to just try it out from, their home computer for the first time. Just to see what the application's like and take a look and walk through the museum. Like I said, you don't need VR. If you have VR, your VR program store of choice will have VR chat, and you can get started there. Same thing though, you'd have to turn on Community Labs and then search for Ration Museum, and it'll pop up. I only launched it about a day and a half ago, and it's already had a couple hundred visits. I'm really surprised. Like, I expected, I've launched one other little play world that I was working on before, and it got 20, 30 visits so far total in like a month and a half. But this thing got a couple hundred in less than 2 days. So it's currently listed as 3 fires on the heat index. So, I mean, I guess that means people are having fun. It's been favorited like 20-something times by people that are, interested in checking back with it or showing it to other people. So I'm excited there. It's actually picking up a lot more than I would have expected for, basically no advertising of its existence yet, just people finding it. Searching, I guess, there's a couple things they could search for: museum, military, history. So I'm just glad that folks are seemingly enjoying it so far. I hope I get some feedback from people that go inside it in VR. I know, bit by bit, I want to dial it in to where it's just a really nice space. Oh, there's a movie theater. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a movie theater. So when you first come in, there's this little room on the left, and the way I have it set up, you don't hear anything until you step into this room and step forward, and then you hear the old-timey video that's playing. Let's see, we can bring that up. That would be under theater. So I'm hosting the video myself in the hopes that, let's see. In the hopes that I can use data from people downloading the video to figure out how popular the world is and where it's being accessed from and that sort of thing. Why is this not doing what I want it to do? So this is the video that's gonna currently be playing on the screen in there. And I know right now it's overlapping with the other music, so I'm gonna turn it off in a second, but it's basically this like Department of the Army, whoa, that's getting a little freaky there, video about K rations. So it's talking about everything that's going into making them, etc. So anyway, just thought you guys might enjoy seeing the inside of the theater room. So overall, this was about 30-40 times more work than it was in my head when it started. Had to learn so many things to make this work, and it's still not quite where it needs to be. I mean, I'm glad to see these ads all on display in the same place at once. Walking around in there and going ad to ad really does feel like you're in a gallery with a cohesive theme. I have the companies together when there's more than one. Like, over here I've got 4 Nestle ads together. We've got, I want to say, oh yeah, some Armor Company, some DuPont, all together. And then we've got a bunch of Campbell's Soup Company, I think 5 of these. But it's just nice to be able to walk around through all these. There's that mysterious doorway I'm telling you guys about. And on the other side, nothing. Nothing at all yet. This is just a rectangle hanging out in open space. All right. Back wall, I've got, let's see. Oh, the pneumatic, what is this? Pneumatic packaging and bottling equipment. So I got a series of 5 of those all together. Oh, and then we've got, everybody knows my favorites, the Florida grapefruit juice ads for Victory Vitamin C. I love this whole series so much. Oh, and then this one I blew up. It was the 2 different pages. I got them back together seamlessly. Like, I was really surprised that the scans fit back together with no problems. And I think this one looks pretty nice. Blown up a little bigger, but the text got washed out, so I got to figure that out. Because the text isn't washed out in the copy that I have. MFO saying reminds me of the Doom game. Yeah, I could port this to VR Doom. There is an engine or a system for porting these kinds of worlds over. And then you could play Doom in here, but it would be a very small level. Maybe when the whole museum's complete and there's a bunch of different rooms with different exhibits going on, you could play, play Doom in there. Oh, hey, thanks, Smitty. Like I said, you don't need VR to use VR chat. It's just you can download and run it on your, computer, just as like a program like any other like first-person game. But nobody has to. I want to also try and get what they call WebXR. So like a portal you could go to through the website and need no other software. Just go to the website and be able to see this. Because I want people to be able to see as it improves, and even if you don't necessarily get to go directly in there. Because part of this also is going to help, I'll be able to make, when the lighting's not janky like this, I'll be able to make like fly-through videos and little kind of promotion videos inside these spaces that could help with fundraising or pushing the idea of doing this on an actual, in-person, larger scale with like a real property. And well, what would a multi-exhibit Ration Museum look like? Well, it's funny you ask. It's been modeled all these different ways. Here it is, like, we can run it through whatever program you want to take a look and see, what these different exhibits would be. And changing out. So I'll be able to reuse this same space and put other stuff in here and, not need to rebuild the whole room and be able to swap through, specific exhibits. Even have them separately uploaded as different worlds. But I'd like to get it to where, there's probably at least 2 or 3 times as much walkthrough space as we're looking at here. But it would be nice to have, a museum where you've got this much gallery space to walk around and look at, paper picture stuff like this. Though obviously I could tighten everything up. I had everything blown up and then went into VR and realized that all these ads were like 1.5 meters by 1 meter, and they were ridiculous because they came out of, the Saturday Evening Post, so they were, they were bigger than, they were like A4 paper or something like that. They were bigger than, your average 8.5 by 11, but only by another 2 inches. All museums would benefit from some first-person shooter component. I mean, gamifying things will attract, you know, an audience to a degree. You can't be like super lame. You know, you can't make the lamest game in the world and expect to gain anything from it. But you know, you could take advantage of the right kind of timing to put a museum related game out in like a game jam, or I don't know. You know, I'm sure there's avenues to push something like that. So this is what I've been working on in this downstairs set, and the camera that, yep, still working. So I'm also going to do an audio recording setup here, and you know, oh hey Kaylynn, thanks for following over on the Twitch. I appreciate that. So the goal is going to be get some videos out on the YouTube channel that people will be able to find useful. You know, that are people going to be, or that people are going to be searching for something, and then kind of add to just historic, you know, information videos and how-to videos and restoration videos and all those kinds of things, so we could eventually potentially, you know, get more eyes on the project and have a better chance of getting somewhere with fundraising. So hey, we got old Smokey jumping in. Good to have you. Just posted about the stream. I've been in meetings all day. Literally just got out of the last one. Oh, that sounds like a bunch of not fun meetings. I hope everything's good. If it's about your leg or you know your stuff with History Channel or anything, hope it's all good. Didn't miss much. Just going through the VR museum here. Yeah, it's just the ad posters as the first exhibit, but all of these have been scanned and photoshopped and cleaned up and brought in and centered in the frames, and you know, it's been a long road just to get this far, and I'm proud of what I'm looking at, and it's a good start. It's gonna improve. You know, there's going to be more and more that makes it in here, and then, like I said, it's going to be a good way to show, you know, any interested parties what a museum dedicated to the history of military food could look like if it was something that they could walk around in person. Audio's a couple seconds ahead of YouTube over there. I guess they're just a little faster at turning the stream around. YouTube, I may have some unintentional delay turned on too. I don't know. But I'm thinking it's probably about time so overall, I mean, I was going to say it's probably about time that we start prepping some food. This might be a shorter than normal stream. I'm kind of feeling like I'm losing my voice today. My throat's been really scratchy all day. I will have to run upstairs and grab a drink in a second, but I just brought these down here, I guess the other day, and just kind of set them on the desk. It's, I don't know, 40 packs of military energy gum. I just keep building this stuff up. All right, let me grab a drink, grab one of those prison rations, and we'll take a look. I know it's been a while since I looked at one of those, and maybe some of you guys didn't see the last one. So we'll tuck in on one of those, and I believe it does have some juice, but I am going to grab something else to go with this. See, I'm just wondering if this is all the way zoomed in or not. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. But hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at how fast that is, how responsive that is. I am thrilled. So, okay. Gonna be right back in just a second. All right, I am back. 40 packs a day might keep you from going. Wait, keep you going for a day. I yeah, I thankfully don't smoke cigarettes. But maybe it's because I started drinking a lot of diet soda again. I don't know. But hopefully, I brought water too, so here's hoping. Here's hoping that doesn't come back. All right, let's start counting calories. I think that's a good plan. Oh, speaking of, I think I might have already touched on this in a previous stream, but MFOs reached out and made a point that on the packages that have the calories per 100 grams of the material, there's an added benefit that we don't. Is this flickering? Oh well. There's a benefit that we don't get when the food doesn't break down that way, or when the calorie representation doesn't break down that way, and that's being able to judge the calorie density of a food, and to some degree being able to judge the healthiness or well, basically just the caloric value of something that you're going to eat. So if you're picking something up and you know that it's 200 calories per 100 grams versus 50 calories per 100 grams. You know, you could eat substantially more of the the less calorie dense item, and it may make you help you make choices around that. So that was a neat concept. Hey CT, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. All right, so let's see. Oh, the other thing is I swapped this camera out from 720p to 1080p. So hopefully it looks a good deal better on your side. I can tell I'm going to need some more lighting in here overall, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. The rest of this basement is incredibly dark, but you know, this is seemingly okay. All right, so in this pack we've got 2 cans of barbecue beef, 1 tortilla, 1 fruit snack, 1 cashew bar, 1 sweet and salty, I want to say that's like a granola bar sort of thing, or is that a nut mix? We'll find out. 1 juice and 1 cutlery kit. So these are, in particular, these were packaged by Sun Meadow, and these were for use in U.S. prisons, but they are also the go-to-war ration. So this is basically a GTW, aka a Jimmy Dean. The idea being these can be slapped together very quickly without heavy contract run-up and special packaging, production, and that sort of stuff that goes into making, you know, traditional MREs or long-range patrol or any of that kind of stuff. So if there's a short-term need for rations where there's going to be supply and you know, a standard base and whatnot, it may not call for getting, you know, MREs specifically for the first couple days worth of you know, deployment, occupation, whatever you want to say, of that area. Hey kitty, yeah. So they'll go with stuff like this. You know, they'll be able to order these produced on very short notice, and you know, and not have to worry about storage and shelf life and that sort of thing. So it's all off-the-shelf components. Although, oddly enough, or not oddly enough, there are a few things in some of these that, you know, you can't just go snag off the shelf. As a for instance, here we've got the traditional military tortillas. These are repacked by Sun Meadow Farm, so they're buying them in bulk, and it says proudly distributed by GA Foods. But it doesn't say made by. So these are probably Bridgeford or Sterling tortillas. And so these were late 2021 production, 1215. So a lot of these items, you know, at this point are about a year old. So, you know, another good reason to eat one of these. They're not meant to last 10, 20 years. These cans, thankfully, I see no bulging, but this is just a glue seal basically. So once you pull that, it's open. These are very, very easily punctured. The glue is not the same thing as, you know, a crimped can lid. So these are basically barbecue. It's kind of like a meat salad kind of thing. Yeah, I think the camera's looking a lot nicer right now. And the focus is pretty good. I'm thrilled for that. You know, for all the hiccups and ups and downs of streaming this stuff. I just wanted to come back this week and have this, you know, this camera not be the bane of my existence. So I'm happy. We've got that camera working. Audio seems to be okay. All the scene effects are working. I was able to show you guys VR, or I mean, well, show you guys the engine behind, I mean the whatever. Show you guys the virtual museum. Next time, we're gonna go inside it in VR, and I hope to have some more interactive stuff going on in there. Be able to cycle through movies maybe. But yeah, Smokey, I don't know if you were here when we were taking a look in the theater room, but you had mentioned that in the last stream where we talked about the VR museum, and I just wanted you to know that's part of it. You can walk into a little room with sound paneling and a little theater and half a dozen seats, and you know, you can sit down and you can watch old newsreels. All right, so we've got the one military style component. We've got some Juicy Burst mixed fruit gummy candy. These are going to be interesting. Probably see some melt. We've got this Cashew Trail Mix bar, and I was wrong. The sweet and salty mix is a pack of Cars Trail Mix. So let's get all of these cups out of the way. Not going to need those this week. We've got the juice box. Got the juice box. Go ahead and dump out this trail mix. And MFOs, I may have been missing. I know on the freeze-dried mains in the Norwegian rations, they do have somewhere on the packaging the total calorie count for the entire package. Is that always the case somewhere, or is it sometimes just going to have your gram weight and your calories per 100 grams, and you have to do math to know what your calories are in the serving? Because if I was just missing that it's always there but not always, you know, in the same sort of spot, then I feel pretty dumb for having brought it up at all. But all right, we've got this kashi bar. We've got, looks like almonds, oats, sesame seeds. This is looking good. And let's get a calorie count going. So we're at 130 calories for the bar. We're at 270 for the Cars mix. And that'll take us to a nice even 400. We're gonna dump out this candy. So we got 200 calories here. Let's see how melted these are. Ooh, actually, would you look at that? It came right out. There was no melt. And there's nothing to protect these except this flimsy little bit of paper, or plastic. So, okay, so that takes us to 600. Yeah, I am just now noticing on YouTube it is a good like 20 seconds late or something. Interesting. Anyway, we're gonna open up these 2 cans. Okay, so we got 130, 270s, 400, 200 more, 600. Let's see what this juice has. Juice has 110, so we're at 710, and then each of these cans has another 160. So 710, we got 870, we got 1030, and then we got the tortillas. A regular pack of these tortillas would be 220, I want to say, so hey, we got 220. So what, we were at 1,030, so 1,250 is the full contents here. So that's really substantial. That's you know, 2 of these would be, you know, a really decent amount of food for an entire day. So these have easily as much calorie-wise as like a, you know, a moderate size MRE. Right. So now, if I recall, the last time around, people were not big fans of how this beef and sauce ended up looking. It's basically, it's, you know, it's stringy beef in barbecue sauce in a can. So I wouldn't expect it to look, you know, like the fanciest meal you've ever had, but there's a lot of it. So you can kind of, you know, you got 1 can per tortilla. But I gotta say, I remember really liking it, regardless of what it looked like. And yeah, it's still holding up. So there's like little bits of onions. There's a little, there's a slightly off taste coming through. But I think it's going to be fine. So this nut mix comes with red, white, and blue shell candy or hand-coated chocolate discs. They're not M&Ms. At least I don't think they are. No. All right. The oils and the nuts just hanging out for a year in a regular off-the-shelf package. They are also starting to turn. Let's try this. Let's try this cashew bar. Okay, that's fine. Nothing at all off about that, at least. Let's see what's in that. All right, so let me make this bigger over here. Hard to read from there. Okay, so we got whole grain oats, brown rice syrup, almonds, dried brown rice syrup, cane sugar, brown rice flour, raisins, sunflower seeds, oat fiber, sunflower oil, glycerin, cranberries, cane syrup, sea salt, natural flavor, so it's got bugs in it, rosemary extract for freshness, and peanut flour. So, you know, joking about the natural flavors, but sometimes, yeah, I was wrong. I mentioned this having sesame seeds. I meant sunflower seeds. So I was wrong there. Same is the case for the mix. We've got some sunflower seeds, we've got nuts, we've got peanuts, we've got raisins, and we've got the pan-coated chocolate discs. And that's right, they are sort of off. All right, take a look at these. So they're not even too bad to pick up. They're not just leaking all over the place. Ooh. That last one had started to crystallize. I really like that when when a sugary type of candy starts to change forms over time and crystallize. You know, even if it's just on the surface, but you know, some other things that can happen is like hard candies that slowly lose cohesion and become more soft, chewy. I love that. I love when bubble gum gets super brittle and crumbly and sort of gets fizzy. All right, we got some more of these. Two more of them had that crystallizing going on. Those age well. Those are these Black Forest Juicy Burst. They age well. The trail mix, not as much. This beef and sauce, jury's still out. I think it's fine. The cat's coming up and down. Not quite sure what to make of me hanging out in the basement. Our little mini tortilla sandwich. Oh. All right, so let me tell you what's in one of these. We've got, well, let me see if I can do it this way. All right, we've got cooked shredded beef, which is beef coated with salt, sugar, dehydrated onion, dextrose, modified cornstarch, caramel color, garlic powder, white pepper, paprika. And we've got water, barbecue seasoning. Barbecue seasoning is sugar, tomato powder, maltodextrin, molasses, modified food starch, soybean oil, white distilled vinegar, spice, caramel color, salt, onion powder, citric acid, xanthan gum, garlic powder, beet powder, natural smoke flavor, and natural flavor egg yolk spice extractive. All right, and then green peppers, 2% or less of onion, glucona delta lactone. Okay, that's, whoop, sorry. Yeah, we've got down here in the bottom right. Let's see if it focuses. Excuse me. We got glucona delta, delta lactone. Glucona delta lactone. And then distilled vinegar. That's a new, never heard that one before. All right, we got Tracy over on Twitch. How's it going? Did you heat it or are you eating it cold? So this is kind of like a picnic lunch kind of thing. You just, if you've ever had like the tuna salad in a can or the chicken salad in a can that you get with like bumblebee, tuna and like little crackers and stuff. It's basically like that. You get your tortilla, you get your canned ready to eat meat stuff. And you're good to go. Overall, I think this held up pretty darn well. Let's check the juice box. These would not be something to buy in store. Definitely. These are a novelty. If you get a chance to snag them and try them, I would recommend it. They're fun. It's like an adult Lunchable, which people say that about MREs, but this even more so. So this is the box of juice that's a liar. This box is a liar. Okay, so look at the front here. Look at the front here. Well, I notice it's starting to leak out through where I punctured it, all over the place. So, all right, now that that's taken care of. What do we see here? Well, we got some fruit on there, don't we? We got, looks like oranges, pears, grapes, and some apples. Well, let's go ahead and see what's inside. What's inside this here juice? Well, we got apple and pear juices from concentrate, which is pure filtered water and juice concentrates, natural flavor, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and citric acid. There's no oranges and there's no grapes. This box is a liar, and it knows it, and it's just perpetrating that lie through the ages. This is some apple juice and some pear juice. That's it. Ain't no grapes in here. Ain't no oranges in here. Take them off the box. Box is a liar. Box offends me. But it's good to see one again. This is a really good bar. It's got it's being held together with like brown corn, or not corn, brown rice syrup instead of corn syrup or honey, and that gives it a very unique unique binding agent, kind of unique flavor to that binding agent, and it's good. You kind of get a used to granola bars and stuff being held together with honey or corn syrup, and come to expect that particular flavor when you're eating the bar. So getting that kind of hint of brown rice instead is, I think nice. trying to see if the flickering, I've got the stream up, I'm trying to see if the flickering I'm seeing on my end is happening on the video. Yeah, okay, it is. Oh well, it's every once in a while. It's something I can figure out later. Could be any of a number of things, but hopefully it's not too annoying on you guys' end. It could be something as simple as sending the stream in 30 FPS and getting this video in 60. Let me see if I can mess with it without. No, I don't know. I'm sure I could mess with it, but I'm going to leave it alone. So he says 100% drinkable liquid. Yep. I wouldn't say it tastes perfect. It's got kind of a throat burning kind of sensation, but other than that it's fine. Refrigerate after opening. Boxes may be frozen. Shake well for best taste. I didn't shake. So I did not read that the first pass. If anything, that burns a little more. I wonder what I shook up from the bottom of that. All right, let's see if I can spot. These two look a little crystally. A little bit. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Black Forest Juicy Burst when it's had some time to age. Dare to say I like it better than fresh. I'll say the same thing about Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts, the older the better. Got little chunks of onion. And what else? At the very, very end, green peppers. So a tiny little bit of green peppers in there. I'm not sure. They blend with the brown. Smitty, are you saying you've run into these particular meals but with tuna, or you just mean the little cans of tuna like out in the store is what you run into? Because I have the same problem when I'm like, if I were, say, trying to find some of these you know, at a local store, best I'm going to do is the tuna with the peel top. You know, the only time I've run into the beef ones have been through these types of rations. There's definitely something a little off. You know, I wouldn't eat one of these 5 years in and expect to be fine. But there's some more chunks of onion and stuff on top. Like, I wouldn't expect to eat one of these in 5 years and be 100% fine, but maybe 2 or 3. Okay. Nothing tasted off about that whole section. That was really good. And I gotta say, the tortilla was really fresh. Hey Mike, welcome back. Sorry if I lost you back at the beginning before I got everything up and running. Hey Dan, we got cyanide cookies jumping in from the other side of the planet. Looks like we're reviewing a school lunch. Yeah, pretty much. If you know, it's a school for unruly adults. We're looking at a Sun Meadow beef and barbecue sauce, M035. Let's see, I don't have them on these. I don't have the files here. Actually, I might. Now that I think about it. So this is the Go to War ration. Excuse me, I'm just double checking to see if I, at some point, backed this up. Because then we could take a look at some of the docs I've got on that. But hope it's going well, Dan. Good to have you. Back at the beginning of the stream, we were just taking a look at the virtual museum. The progress, the first display exhibit is now out and available through VR chat. The world's called Ration Museum, and it's already had a couple hundred visits, so in less than 2 days. So I'm excited. I hope more folks, you know, find out about the museum and reach out. Or even just enjoy it. Just walk through and enjoy it. That's the point, you know? All right, so let me see. I don't have the files in the Ration Museum drive, but I might have them dumped in. Okay, I do. All right, we're gonna go back over here. So here we've got, let's see, that's an M039. Ours is an M035, but these are the Sun Meadow cases being loaded up for a military exercise. See, M035. Go to War is page 51. Okay, yeah, so we've got the special purpose Go to War ration. And you can see in this example, we've got a breakfast one that's basically milk and a candy bar and some Pop-Tarts and Oreos and candy, crackers. This one we've got, you know, this had a canned, looks like rice and peas and peppers or something. It's got some, got like a fruit cup got some cheese crackers or peanut butter crackers, got some chocolate milk. So, you know, they're not a locked in meal. They're meant for, you know, quick turnaround, quick deployment, and not needing to worry about shelf life. So these are gap fillers, and thus they're requirement sets and not specific menu sets in terms of ordering these things. Let's see. So this is, there's a meal kit standards doc from the Army. Let's see, the Department of Health and Human Services and Army Nutrition Standards AR 40-25. This goes out to meal kit providers such as Sun Meadow and covers what has to be in the breakdown. So 30 to 35% fat, 10% or less saturated fat, no trans fat at all, less than 100 milligrams cholesterol, 55% carbs, 10 to 15% calorie or protein, has to have less than 1,300 milligrams of sodium, needs at least 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. So doesn't set a caloric value specifically. It says see specific calorie requirements for each meal type. So, all right. I guess that's even further down, but so this breaks down what needs to be in these. Heated breakfast, cold breakfast, shelf-stable breakfast, brunch. So then this goes into the specific procurement info. So we had a MO35. Wait, no, let's see. Did this have the NSN on it? Or did the box? So let's see. This had the barbecue beef in meal kit with drink. No. This was specifically this meal, the MO35 barbecue beef meal kit, shelf stable. Let's see, that was the 897001 E62 3328. Let's see, is that what we're looking at? 3325. The 3328 wasn't on this list, if I recall. 25, yes. 28, no. Okay. So, let's see. All right. So this is specifically approving what can be ordered, you know, as of, you know, the circulation of this flyer, and it's got a variation. Oh, okay. All right. So that's, never mind. So no, it's approved. So they've got meal kit with drink, 6 each, tuna, chicken, beef. An 18 count of the varied one is $33.25. The individuals are 26, 27, and 28. So we've got 128, but the Army would be ordering an 18 pack that includes 3 of the tuna, 3 of the chicken, 3 of the beef. I think this is just, yeah. Well, okay, so it's not 33, 26, 27, 28. Because here's the barbecue. Okay, so there's tuna salad is 29, that's 28. Chicken is 30. 26 is peanut butter and jelly. 27 is Southwestern chicken meal. Or Southwest chicken meal kit. Yeah, okay. 25 assorted contains the beef, the tuna salad, and the chicken salad. Okay. But yeah, they're pretty simple things. If eaten within date, you know, I'm sure they're fine. Across, I mean, no, I'm sure I had one when it was pretty darn fresh. So this is the only part I would say that's turned a bit. There's something wrong with the peanuts. You know, in the sense that it's rancid oils, but you know, the brain's kicking back. Like, this isn't 100% fine. I'm just reminding it that it's not my boss and I'll eat what I want. So I hope you guys like the new digs. Next time we'll get to take a look at the scanning setup, which will be just over here, but I'll have a different camera for that. Hopefully something better for audio overall. Just gonna make slow improvements and not have to take them apart in between streams, you know? So yeah, I mean, the slightly wonky peanut flavor, it's totally ignorable. No, I don't think I'm gonna have any ill feeling from it. These candies having crystallized only makes them better. The juice box kind of burns. The beef was mostly still fine. And the granola bar, the cashew bar, which says trail mix, but trail mix granola bar, but that was totally 100% fine. No hint of spoiling at all. I'm just looking at this guy's name for GA Foods. I think I have his contact info from a private company selling FSRs. I'm not sure. Seems like the same guy. I'm probably wrong though. I can't believe it, but I'm gonna need to buy more FSRs at some point. I've gone through 3.5 cases of them already. Wait, 4.5. Oh, a lot. Probably 4.5 cases already this year. 5.5. But I've been eating that kind of stuff instead of regular groceries, so it all evens out. gap filler. It's better than gap filler. When this thing was fresh, I was pretty darn happy to get it. This fruit punch didn't expire until August. It was still good not that long ago. It says 100% juice. I mean, really nothing wrong with it. So there you go. We had 1,250 calories. Still edible at the 1 year mark. Still completely fine at the 1 year mark, really. This was a Go to War M035 by GA Foods or Sun Meadow, specifically packed for or listed for sale as surplus rations from a prison. I guess they'd use them for prison transport or day programs or things where they're going to be moving prisoners but not have access to a cafeteria and not want to pack a bunch of cafeteria or refrigerated items or anything like that around, so something like this comes in handy. Just easy to put together, easy to toss out for the soldiers or prisoners, whoever you got that's hungry. But it's not, like I said, sizable amount of food. You wouldn't be expecting that with totems and civilian MREs being around that 1,000 calorie or less mark a lot of the times, and Ameriqual disaster meals are, I want to say, right around that 900 mark. It's just interesting to see this thing at 1,250. But I think I'm going to call it a little bit early, guys. This was a bit shorter stream, but still dialing in all the tech around here. I'm glad this much of it worked this long, and next week I'll have things just dialed in a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better over time. I hope everybody had some fun this week, and next week I'll be back with an actual tour from inside the museum in VR, and we'll probably do some 3D scanning or take a look at some of the stuff that I've 3D scanned in between now and then if I get to, and we'll see what progress has been made on the virtual museum. Excuse me. Soon I'm going to have to start making 10-minute videos, get them up on the channel, so stay tuned for that, and I'll definitely need you guys to go watch, etc., share as best we all can, but one little piece at a time. And before you know it, we'll have a walk-through museum somewhere that hopefully lots and lots of folks will get to enjoy over the years. So thank you guys for coming out. Hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday afternoon, and until next week, everybody, just remember, stay rational.